pulled out a Stardust and I knew exactly what, because my parents had decided to separate.
Yeah.
And they were like, is it true that? I said, put that away, I'll give you more details. उसमें कुछ नहीं है, सारी details अगर चाहिए ना मेरे साथ बैठो. Spoke about the Big Boss house.
Yeah.
I actually gave that example when I told the supposed youth in that house.
Yeah.
Some of them who kind of use the youth card a lot.
I got 7 episodes to say what I want.
Thanks to Amazon.
To be honest. So yeah.
There was a man called Bhatt who was out of a job, and he didn't have a job. He was broke. But I came into the world, and he wrote me a letter, upon which he wrote on the top.
Hello everyone, this is Aina and welcome to Instant Bollywood. I'm in conversation with the cast and maker of Big Girls Don't Cry. So nice to have you. Pooja, Bhatt, Nitya, Mehra, Aneet, Vidushi, Dalai, Lakila, Afra and Akshata. So nice to have you.
Well done, I must say.
You know, thank you. I was nervous about this. I practiced it, I promise.
No, well done.
And you know what? The funny thing is, we've all been switching positions with everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you kind of got it.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by asking you all that, you know, teenage mein or school mein, college mein is the time that, you know, it shapes us in some way for life and also scars us in some way for life. What is that one thing that has shaped you and scarred you? Ooh.
Through this show or in life?
In life, in
life.
your school, college,
Who wants to go
teenage
first?
days.
Yeah, please. Vidushi.
Yeah.
So I think I really struggled with maths. So in 9th and 10th it got really hard because 10th है ना आपको देना पड़ता है
Relatively.
maths हाँ, and if you want a good percentage then you have to give maths. And my relationship with maths was not very nice and I was really struggling. So ऐसा होता था कि Wednesday को अगर maths के 2 consecutive period थे तो मैं छुट्टी कर लेती थी क्योंकि मुझे पता था कि मेरी क्लास अच्छी नहीं जाएगी. And एक दिन I went home and I cried and I told my mom कि मेरे को नहीं जाना स्कूल. बोला देखते हैं, तू देखते हैं, मतलब स्कूल छोड़ देंगे. और मुझे लगा अच्छा ठीक है कर सकते हैं. So I think that period, that struggle, it kind of forged me to just take it one day at a time. And I joined tuitions and I, मतलब seemed like a small thing, but I was just taking कि मैं इतना काम करके जाऊँगी and मैं इतना काम करके जाऊँगी. So पहले I was running away with it, but अब उसके बाद फिर when I decided कि नहीं ये करना है और अगर कर रहे हैं तो फिर अच्छे से ही करेंगे. तो फिर वो किया. So the idea was कि
Facing your problems.
yeah, I mean, idea is कि you have to become diamond, and if you're a coal right now, which we all are, you have to go through that process. And I was like, okay, now I'm mentally ready to go through that process and of forging to become a diamond. So that was
Through math.
Yeah.
How cute is that? Right? I love that. I love it.
I think school मेरा पहला stage था. That's where I kind of got to realize that, you know, like performing arts, being on stage, dancing, just being able to present myself to an audience, to connect to an audience
And express yourself.
and express myself. That was kind of where I first realized it, and my school was what gave me the first stage to kind of do that and come into my own with it. And what traumatized me was having to wake up at 7 a.m. every morning. And I would happily never do that again. But yeah.
Except for shoot.
Except for shoot. That I'll wake up for. But
Before we had Big Girls Don't Cry the show, we had titled Masoom. And that is innocence. You know, you're at this age, you're at the cusp of going into adulthood, and that is the journey that we're trying to catch.
You know, ma'am, when I saw that you were a part of Big Girls Don't Cry, you know, I've seen you, especially recently, and your personality journey in Big Boss as well, where, you know, there's this perception with you that, you know, strong woman who's always telling people the right and wrong and guiding the young ones. What makes you vulnerable, and when is that moment that you cry?
Well, I mean, when is the moment? I've never shied away from tears, and I think that doesn't make you a weak person if you show emotion or you show vulnerability.
Yeah.
But I think that cry, I mean, like Nitya said, that we cry all the time.
Yeah.
I see something where there is injustice happening in any corner of the world, and that makes me kind of fills me with grief.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I see kindness exhibited by strangers, when your very own sometimes turn their back on you, that makes me weep, because the fact that somebody is just taking time out to be generous to you. And I think the world could do with a lot more kindness. The world could do with a lot more generosity. But going back to my memories, I think I was very privileged to go to a school where they did not allow any degree of ostentation. They said you are all the same. It doesn't matter what your father's bank balance is, who your mother might be. None of that works. You come here as equals and then let your personalities come to the fore.
Right.
But where I faced kind of a certain degree of attempts at a painful kind of intervention was from my very own, my schoolgirls, my seniors who should have been looking out for me, but called me to the hockey field one day and pulled out the Stardust magazine, because those days that used to be the holy grail. Up to newspapers or magazines or and social media is doing the job of what Stardust and Cineblitz did. अभी आप front page पे मिल जाता है आपको कि किसकी शादी टूट रही है या नहीं. तब wait करना पड़ता था एक महीने के लिए. And they pulled out a Stardust and I knew exactly what, because my parents had decided to separate. And they were like, is it true that? I said, put that away, I'll give you more details. उसमें कुछ नहीं है. सारी details अगर चाहिए ना मेरे साथ बैठो, मैं आपको सारे gossip दे दूँगी, juicy details दे दूँगी. And they were very disappointed that they did not manage to shame me. So that, what should have scarred me, freed me. And I said to myself, I'm never going to give anyone in the world the privilege of telling me about myself or my life. I hold it open as an open book, because I said that what I try to hide is what you'll use against me. So it's all out there for anyone to do what the hell they want to. So I think that supposed moment, which should have been very painful, actually liberated me. And that's where growth happens.
That's so lovely, and you have the most powerful tool with you where you can't let people say something to you and believe it, which is lovely. I also want to know, because the two of you all have much more experience in life, and like Pooja ma'am always says that experience is the biggest lesson and teaching that we have in life. When you look at these girls and you're working with these girls, or just anyone new trying to do something in the industry, what is something that you would tell them, because you're coming from a protective space?
No, in fact, I gave that example when you spoke about the Big Boss house. I actually gave that example and I told the supposed youth in that house. Some of them who kind of use the youth card a lot at 28 and 26. I was like, hang on. I've just worked with a whole bunch of truly young people, and that's the youth really, who are very wise, very compassionate, very considerate, and I've learned so much from them. So there are people and there are people, and there are young people and there are young people, and there are women and then there are women, and then there are men and there are men. So you just can't, just because you are female, it doesn't mean that you will be the most compassionate person in the world. Compassion could actually come from a male quarter and not come from a female quarter in certain instances. So I think that these guys, these young ladies here, I actually gave their example in that house, and I said, hey, there's something called healthy competition, and there's something called, yes, I want to win, but you also applaud the other person with as much or more glee than you bring the person down. That's it.
I'm extremely protective about them, just because they've trusted me. They've put their trust in me, and so I am extremely protective. But also, I just feel like this generation, they're super wise. They really are, or at least these girls are. I mean, I've learned so much from them, and and anything that I want to say actually about, like, I feel like, with people like me, I think we have the unique opportunity of whatever we want to say, we have an art form to say it. I got 7 episodes to say what I want.
Thanks to Amazon.
to be honest. So and I don't have any pearls of wisdom. Just watch BGDC and there's a lot in there.
March 14th, Prime Video.
I love how Della is always plugging in every interview.
Watch it, please. Her name is plugging.
Oh yeah. Being true to a character. Okay, I also need to know that teachers and mentors at every point also play a very pivotal role in your life. I know teachers who have probably I have not resonated with, or who have said something to me that really affected me, and sometimes teachers who really helped me in my life, and I love them to date. Who has been that mentor, has played that pivotal role in your life? It could be school, college, industry, anywhere.
I'll tell you, my principal, Shanti Verma, she shaped she shaped me, and I cannot thank her enough, because she did not only shape me, she shaped a generation of women. But I've always noticed that when we portray teachers in Indian cinema, I just feel like they're so atypical. It is a way that strict teacher, like it's so not layered. And I think Pooja was saying it earlier. I mean, there has to be every character is great, in life. And but somehow our teachers just never seem to have any layers. They're really, really the same, the strict one that makes the big eyes, that has the juda, that has this. Yeah. And I think it was very important for us to make sure that Anita Verma lands as well as the girls do.
For me, it's been Nitya in the industry. Of course, you know that. It's been Nitya and Karan. I think I'm generally, as a person, very, very doubtful of myself, and it becomes very difficult for me to be like, it's okay to accept yourself and put yourself out there.
Same.
And I think Nitya and Karan have really helped me do that and tell me that you might not be perfect, you might not be the best yet at what you do, but you're something.
Yeah.
No, we all need someone to believe in us.
Yeah.
That's extremely important. And I think that if only the world would be a better place if we all took it upon ourselves to uplift another person instead of bringing them down.
Yeah.
The amount of joy and time we spend bringing people down, spend half that energy lifting them up, and glorious things can happen.
Is there any mentor in your life that's taken?
Well, when I was born, there was a man called Bhatt who was out of a job, and he didn't have a job, he was broke, but I came into the world and he wrote me a letter, upon which he wrote on the top Swami Vivekananda's quote, which said, "Be truthful and be fearless, for you are part of divinity and not a sin." For me, that letter is my inheritance. Those are lines that I try and live each day of my life, and that is my legacy. So he is my teacher, he is my friend, he is my guide. And I also learned from my cat, who's all of 14. I learned from my cat that the work happens in the waiting. And as actors, we all know that's the most difficult part, is the waiting. So I think that every avenue of life is a source of learning. It's really up to us and how open we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a quick rapid fire
Okay.
with you guys. So I'm going to ask you questions and situations. You all just need to answer as quickly as possible, and whoever wants to.
They're very good
We're
at rapid.
short
Come on,
on
girls.
time. Okay. If there's jealousy between two best friends regarding a man or a woman, how would you probably solve it?
Have to have a
about it.
conversation.
What did you say? Talk about
Okay,
it.
Civil
Talk about
conversation. Okay. If you're constantly bullied for the way you're looked or picked for your insecurities, how would you probably deal with it?
Move
Ignore
away
it.
from those people.
Exactly.
Move
Yeah.
away from those people.
Yeah. Okay. If there's one thing you would like to change in the education system right now, what would it be and why?
Ooh. I think
School
in the
needs to start at noon.
yeah.
What is
Okay.
it?
School needs to
start at noon. No, but actually, on a serious note, school should start later. Like there are scientific studies about how it affects your brain.
Yeah, because you barely get anything in the morning that you're
Exactly.
studying.
You barely get anything anyway.
That's true.
Maybe I shouldn't give a deep answer.
Okay. What's the craziest thing that you've done back in school, college? Any one incident that pops up in your head?
I climbed a wall and got out of school half day with a bunch of my friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I shaved both
Sounds
my
very
eyebrows
Diya.
and plucked 8 of my eyelashes for
Yeah,
no
yeah.
reason.
You shaved your
Shaved
eyebrows?
your eyebrows? Just never come back to
Why?
I don't know. I was 9 years old and my mom was like, "Beta, मैं तेरा की करा? What am I supposed to do with this now? Why would you do that?" I'd pluck my eyelash and be like, wish आएगी ना. My dreams will come true.
Okay. Do you stalk your school crush till date? If yes, then why?
Yes.
What?
It was my first.
No judgment.
No judgment.
Wait, sorry, my parents are watching
She
this.
plucked her eyebrows, then the guy didn't look at her for Now she's stalking them since they're back.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
I don't stalk no crush because my first boyfriend is still one of my best friends. So,
Oh,
Nice.
That's a flex. Okay. If you were a professor, probably which subject would you pick to teach?
Psychology.
History.
History. All our-
Music.
Literature.
philosophy, darling.
Philosophy. fully. Okay. What's the most powerful thing about having girlfriends?
the inherent community of it. It's
Yeah.
almost like you don't have to explain yourself because there's such an understanding between women.
So true.
Exactly. Yeah.
Support.
Yeah.
Ma'am, for you?
I think to be able to be mirrored in a sense that a man can't
Yeah.
do.
Sure.
Free therapy.
That's
Yeah.
Feeling of being accepted. Just
to
the
be
way
seen, to be seen, and to be
known
heard
is
for
to be
what you are.
loved.
I mean, even if your experiences are completely different.
Absolutely. Lastly, what is that one thing that makes you cry no matter what?
Kindness.
Oh, it does.
Dogs, but what about you?
There's an Icelandic hymn that I listen to sometimes. It always makes me cry. Onions.
When everybody leaves and goes to their own cities and countries, I know we're gonna cry.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Sorry for reminding you.
Leaving these girls always.
Yeah.
Leaving me.
Always.
Okay, thank you so much. It was lovely
Thank
chatting
you.
with
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Wish
you.
you all the very best for Big Girls Don't Cry.
Thank you so much.
Please like, share, and subscribe to Instant Bollywood.
Now.
Thank you, girls.
And watch Big Girls Don't Cry on March 14th.
March 14th.